Yek eich sitini Johan Gunafchish Suhatya Ade. Hi folks, good to see you again. Thank you for coming here. We have a fun day planned for you. Today's week 3, day 1 of our class, and it's Tuesday, January 24th. On our board for today, we'll open up with questions and answers. Any questions or comments you have, we'll have a discussion. And then last week, folks were super brave with sharing their self-introductions, and we even received some emails from folks about theirs. And we're just really proud of you, and we wanted to make space for anyone who didn't get a chance yet to practice in case you're interested, so that you can practice your self-introduction. If you have any questions about it, we're here for you. So we'll make time for that. And then we'll review our knock-knock dialogue practice. We did have 2 new lines last week, and we want to give you time to practice them. And then since we started counting, I would like to go over some resources that I compiled for you on counting, where you can hear recordings of people counting, where you can find different lines about it in the phrase book, things like that. And if we have time at the end, we'll practice counting people. So before we get started, did anybody have questions or comments about any of the material we've covered so far? If you think of questions or comments on the way, don't be shy. You can type them in the chat. You can raise your hand, unmute, and let us hear your voice. And so that brings us to self-introductions. And was there anybody here who didn't yet get a chance to practice their self-introduction, who was hoping to? Skinyatla.
Yakei Satini.
Are
we going to go right into it then, or just
yeah. If you like, I can put it up on the screen as well. I'm just opening it up.
Okay, because I went through this a couple times, and the mother's nationality, I put what I thought was a good answer, and then I changed it, and then I changed it again. I'm just going to go with what I have written down, so that way I can just make the sounds and go from there.
Okay.
Nancy, you had do a sock. Lingit Class, Skinya Kla, you had do a sock. Look nach Adi nach Hatzati, Engenan Yadi Ayachat. Gunahu Kwan Ayachat, De Shu Ye Hatyati, Dach Laweli Dutchhan Ayachat, Dagana Hitan Ayachat Nachahidi. Gunachish Ho Ho.
In English?
My name is Nancy, and I live in Daeshu. And my clan, my moiety is Raven. My clan is Coho. And I am a grandchild of the Killer Whale clan from Klukwan. But my matrilineal line is from the village of Gusayak in next to the Alsek River in Gunahukwan.
Great, Gunachish. Yeah, it sounds really good. You're becoming more relaxed about doing this, so that's really good.
Okay. I agree. I thought you sounded great. That was lovely. And Gunachish for sharing with us. Did you have any questions for us, Skinyatla?
No questions, just a comment. I did really enjoy Friday and our conversation about the A and B.
Mm,
Inachi, Shaksaniki, Nilatoga.
Okay, I'm glad you were able to make it. And yeah, same to Shak Sunny Keat Gunachish for sharing all that information with us. That was fun. For folks who weren't able to make it on Friday, we talked about the founders of the Alaska Native Brotherhood and who they were, what they were going for. And Shaksani Keek had a lot of good information about what they brought to the group, some of their key strengths and personality traits. So if you weren't able to make it, no worries. It's recording. It was recorded and it's available on the Lingit and Haida YouTube channel. So definitely check that out. Okay, awesome job on the introduction. Is there anybody else in this group that would like to share theirs who hasn't had a chance yet?
I haven't heard any. Maybe I'm wrong. Were there any men that have tried?
Not that I can remember.
I know we have them because I hear their voices in the background sometimes.
Mm-hmm. Shirley, you have your hand up? I forget your Singit name. Not Shirley, not Shaksani Keek. Oh, and you're muted.
It's Jura, and it's actually Southern Shoshone. I just wanted to say that I'd missed almost all of the classes, and I'm just back up and running now. And I wanted to just let you know that I've been trying to keep up with the classes, with the recordings, and that's helping a lot. But I'm just not comfortable just yet to do that, but I'm so pleased to be here. And I wanted to say as well too that the additional information that I get on the background of my Tlingit relatives or ancestors has been really valuable to me. And if there's any advice on where to find to sort of track what my background is, because I've been raised in the Tagish and Southern Shoshone cultures, and we just use wolf and crow. So I'm not clear on tracking through the moieties and the clans and the subclans. So I just thought I would mention that for any advice that anybody wants to be able to share on that I can research. Thank you so much.
Is there any material in print for that area? That different clans? Does anybody know?
I think, I know that I've heard, and again, because I've been raised strictly with the Tagish and Southern Shoshone cultures, that, I'm just pulling out little bits and pieces from my memories. And people always connect us either to the killer whale or the eagle clan. And I just want to get I just wanted to find out what I could find out there. Because I want to incorporate that into my self-introduction, because in Tagish and Southern Shoshone, we do the matrilineal line first, and then we honor our father's side, and that I really would appreciate anywhere I could find, so I can start tracking that with some assurity. But anyways, it's just there. It doesn't have to be done today, but if anybody comes across something, I would really appreciate it. Thank you.
Skinya Clara, you have your hand up?
Okay, so I I'm participating in a number of efforts of Tlingit language, but I'm doing some language here in my community of Deishu, also known as Haynes, and we make references to the Tlingit workbook a lot, the beginning Tlingit language workbook, and they have a lot of really good information there about the moieties and clans. And that is online, or you can access it online. Goodness, geez.
Yeah, gonna see.
Yeah, this is a great resource. The Beginning Tlingit workbook has a list of clans, clan houses, and it's on page 90. Let me find it here. I think I want to say it starts on page 93, but let's open up this chapter and see what it looks like. Is this the list you're talking about, Skinyatla? Yeah, okay. So Azura, if you're wanting to include information on Tlingit clans, there is a compilation here in the Beginning Tlingit workbook, and I'll put the link in the chat so that you can access it online if you like.
That would be really awesome for me. I mean, even this already is starting to give me ideas. So thank you so very much. And Skeeny, I'm pretty sure that we're going to connect in other groups that we both belong to as well. And anyways, you know my family, so you got a pretty good idea of where I'm coming from trying to track my dad's side. Thank you.
Okay.
Fun, good connections made. So let's see. Is there anybody else in this group who would like to try their self-introduction, who hasn't been able to yet?
Or if you have questions or comments.
Yeah, well. Kachtu.
I just want to say goodness cheese for the teaching we're getting. I appreciate all of the kindness and compassion, shuk, shani, heat. And let's see. I'm trying to find them. Oh, Nila Taga. Taga. Well, I'm just really, really grateful for your kindness and compassion, and for Shani, you know, your all of the experience that you bring, well, that you both bring. But I'm feeling really, really grateful that we can have this. And I'm catching up on my lessons from last term. And in there, I saw that you said that you would like us to give you an update on how we're getting ourselves up to date. So I wanted to let you know that I'm going through all of the, my goal is to go through all of those to make sure that I've learned what you had from last time. And I still need to memorize my introduction, but I did give it earlier this term. So goodness cheese.
Okay.
Okay. I'm glad you're here in class with us. And Nauksati, you have your hand up.
Hi, I wanted to practice my introduction, if that's okay.
Yeah.
Plit kachenak Jessica, yuhat doasak. Plinket chenak nakwasati, yuhat doasak. Scotland, Nachhatsati, Czechoslovakian Yadi Ayahat. Wabanaki Kwan Ayahat, Akwan Yichat Yati. Gunishish Hoho. My English name is Jessica. My Tlingit name is Nakwasati. My mother's ancestry is from Scotland. My father's ancestry is from Czechoslovakian. I'm originally from the Wabanaki land on the East Coast, and currently live in Akwan, Juneau. And I guess I have a question around translating place names. I know we've been over that and probably should go back to those lessons, but in my quick search for Scotland and Czechoslovakian, I couldn't quite find an easy translation. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. Bagunashish.
I want to hear the last line of where you live. Is that where you live? That you have?
Wabanaki Kwan Ayahat, and then Akwan Yihat Yati.
Oh, okay.
Is that correct for Juneau? Nice.
You could even just say "Aukyechatyati," and I'll write it down for you. Akwan is the traditional people of Auk of the area. So there's a couple different ways you could go
I
around.
see.
Yeah. So let's do. If you wanted, you could say "Aukyechatyati." I currently live at Little Lake or Auk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's tricky.
Ayakakwesh Aksanikik.
To say that she lives in Ark.
Yeah. Or in Juneau.
Yeah, it would be hard to say Ark.
Yeah.
So the other option would be the better one, I think. The one you said.
Oh, like just say Juneau or Tsantikihini.
She live in Juneau or live in Ark Bay.
I live in Auk Bay, actually.
Might be
Up
better
the road.
to say Ark Bay. Ark Bay Ehatiati.
Auk Bay. Ihati.
Yeah.
Ganashish.
Yeah.
Because you say it so fast, it's hard to hear exactly what that is. So just take your time finishing up and just say Akbek Yehatiet.
Auk Bay. Yehati.
Yeah, there you go.
Ganashish.
Okay, good question. Oh, are there any other folks that would like to practice? Someone want to go? I heard somebody kind of unmute and then I looked back and I don't see you.
Yeah, I hit it and then it blanked out again. So,
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Great cock and nach Henry, Yachatu Sauk. Lingit Kenach, Yeri dos Ken, Yachatu Sauk. Ishkitan, Nacha Seti, Kagwantan Yatki, Ayachat, Taku Kwan, Ayachat, Saik, Yachat Yati, Ishkahit, I Nakadate Hedi. Gunchish. Ho ho.
In English,
Okay. See, my name is Henry. My Tlingit name is Yedi Dufkin. I am Ishkitan. I am child of Kagwantan. I'm from Takukwan. And I said that the name of Douglas, Saik, I think it's called. And let's see, my clan is Ishkahit, or my tribe is Ishkahit. And I said, thank you.
okay. On the phrase where you live, it's
Yeah.
Ye Hatyati, Ye Hatyati. You say the name of the town and then you say Ye Hatyati.
Yes. Okay. Ye Hatyati.
There you go.
Se
Yeah.
Saik Ye Hatyati.
Mm.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, job well done, Gunastish. And Azura.
I just wanted to share a little bit about my own background. In addition to my dad being Lingit, his name was Hago. Hago. He carried that name from his uncle Pete Duncan. Anyways, his English name is John Adamson, and he was born in Douglas, as were my aunts and uncle. But on my mother's side, even though we were raised Tagish and Southern Shoshone, my great grandmother was Shuateen was her name, and that I know is a Tlingit name. So I'm guessing her connection must go further back into Alaska in some way as well, or it could be connected to family there, because there's a lot of that name in the Yukon Shuateen. And one of her daughters was Shaatlain. And when my second daughter was born, my grandma gave her that name. So my second daughter is Shaatlain. So in our family, our names are all between Southern Shoshone Tagish, the ancient Tagish names, and the Tlingit. And this journey is really helping me to connect the pieces there. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
So you said your grandmother's name was
Shuateen.
Shuateen.
Yeah. Oh, I should stay a little bit closer here. Shuateen.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds good, okay.
Gunastish. Awesome. It's very cool to hear everybody's backgrounds and heritage and family names. And I don't want to pressure anybody, but if you do want to give it a try, this is a great chance for anyone who's interested in practicing your self-introduction. You have any other takers? If not, you can just shoot me an oh, Kachtu. Oh, you're muted, Kachtu.
I have a question about memorizing it. I noticed that in memorizing the numbers or learning the numbers, Shak Shani Heat had us go and say one and then 1, 2, and then back to 1, 2. And I'm thinking maybe that's the way to approach memorizing my introduction. But I'm open to any kind of guidance that you could give for memorizing it.
Yeah, the method for teaching new words is what I do is whether it's vowels or numbers, is to say it and say take, and then everybody after me. And the reason for that is sometimes you say take and then you get down to 5 and you can't remember what the first one was. So for a beginner, that's what I do. But this particular group just jumped on it right away to start using it, which was really pleasing to me. I've never had that happen before. So that is real good because you had a lot of that in you already. And what our aim is for the class is for you to become relaxed, and when you count, like you count in English, 1, 2, 3, 4, without hesitation, to do the same with Lingit numbers. So that's a method. If you want to try it for your introduction, that would be okay. But once you get through your doing that with your introduction 2 or 3 times, then relax and just go through it.
Okay.
That's a way of getting, because when you say it out loud, you're hearing yourself, and it gets embedded in your memory. And then the next time you say it, and you can hear where you get offline. So it's a good method, talking to yourself, to do this. That's the way languages are. So
Goodness, geez. That's an example of why I'm so grateful for your teaching. How you know, the way you teach us. I'm really, really grateful. So goodness, geez.
okay, geez.
Awesome question and awesome answer. Does that help folks? Do you have any more questions, comments about the self-introduction? Skinyatla.
Okay. I just wanted to add, I was going to type it in, but I'll just go ahead and speak to it. So I've had people, when they hear my Tlingit name, it's actually 2 words. And so some people, when they try to repeat that, they'll just only say that first word and not both words that belong to the name. And the reason I mention it is because we do have that's the male version, which is Skinya, that applies to some of the men in the Coho line, but Skinya Tla is the feminine version, or that's my understanding. Goodness, cheesh.
Yeah, because the real meaning of that is you're the mother of Skino. That's what it means, yeah. So if you leave it off, then it's somebody else.
Goodness, cheesh.
Okay, awesome point. And Sani, you have your hand up.
Yeah, if I may take you up on your offer, I'm working on slowing down. And somebody told me that, you know, our parents put so much into our name when they were coming up with our name, and that our ancestors are with us and we represent them. So that really made an impact on me. And so instead of trying to rush through it like a college student who doesn't want to fail,
I know that feeling.
there's that old tension. I want to eliminate that.
Mm.
And so I like to try again and see if I can put the pauses in the right place and slow down. So can I go ahead and share just do my introduction? Okay. So Glate ka glena liana, you hatu sak, klinket glena sani, you hatu sak, klinadi na hatsati, wishkitan yadi ayachat, sayik yi hat yati, wishkitan dachan, kagwantan ayachat dak kanuhu, yahtehit, ayachat nach kahiti. Goodness, cheese, ho ho.
Oh, sounds
Did
good.
I slow down more?
Yeah. That's good. It does take concentration to slow down, and you'll get used to it. And sometimes you feel like you need to rush and get it over with and get it done, you know. So that doesn't help any. So to concentrate on that is good. Yeah, okay.
Finish cheese.
Yeah, that was really beautiful. Thank you for sharing with us. Yeah, okay. If we don't have any other takers for our self-introduction practice today, you can always email me and let me know if you're wanting, and we'll make time for you in a future class. And let me put my email in the chat here. Just let us know, we'll make space. And so in the meantime, let's move on to our dialogue review. And this is our knock knock dialogue. We added 2 lines last week. And so they were around the time. Gao saya, what time is it? Sit gao sanaya, it's noon. And so we want to make sure there's time for you to practice. And let's practice the 2 last lines. So everybody go ahead and repeat after me. So it's this blue line that's asking what time is it? And the first word is a question word, kun. So everyone repeat after me, kun. The next word means drum or time or hour. It's gao. So repeat after me, gao. Yep. And then last word is marks a question, like, is this? So repeat after me, saya.
Saya.
So the whole line, repeat after me, kun gao saya.
Saya.
And then the answer, it's noon. So the first word is, repeat after me, sit gao san. And the last word just means like this is. So repeat after me, aya. So the whole thing. Sit gao san aya. So Aksanikik, how did we sound?
Yeah, that sounded good. And on the question about Ungausea, the question mark doesn't come till the sa.
So yeah, looking at where do you identify the question, the way you know this is a question is from the sa. Kun is more like what, how would we describe kun?
How many?
How many? Okay.
Or how much or whatever it apply. You're applying it to the time though. So
So I'm not sure if we'll be able to do breakout rooms today, but would you like us to demonstrate the dialogue for them so that we could do it on Thursday?
yeah.
Okay. Oh, and really quick, it looks like Edna has a question or comment.
Yes, I'm just curious about the question mark. I guess I'm asking you in Lingit written Lingit, do you put the question mark in there?
The Downhowers, when they wrote the alphabet, completely left out punctuation. So the way I teach is to tell about where the question mark comes in the Lingit language. And you learn to recognize that it's a question. So
Okay.
sometimes you hear in English, was that a question? We don't use question marks and exclamation or any of those marks because the what is so-called punctuation, such as apostrophe and a period, is used differently in our language. It'd be different things.
I wrote question marks on the slides just out of habit. Should I take them out?
If it's written in Kunkit, you don't put the punctuation.
Oh, okay. Good enough. Geesh. Let me take them out. Okay.
It was all in a discussion that Lance Twitchell and I had about that. And we agreed that it was easier for us as speakers to recognize the question mark that's in different places when we speak.
Yeah, okay.
Ganachish.
Okay. Yingewune Shaksanikik. Knock knock.
Adusawa,
Nila Torah. Aya.
Nisku, how, Hatkiatin,
Tatgehat Khwatin.
Isukesiku Singit,
Skun Khadol tu.
Wasaiati,
Teshwasa. Wa Ekoa.
Hatiak E. Wasaiati ish,
Arthritis to Jiwa.
Ishan,
Kun Gausaya.
Sitkau San Aya. So it's like, oh no, what time is it? Got to do some acting.
Okay.
what time is it?
Oh,
Gauss, you know, I wasn't watching the time. What time is it?
okay. So maybe more like un gausaya.
Sit Gausana, yeah.
Okay. Oh, I'm excited. I sense some excitement coming on in this dialogue.
So let's go ahead with the next two lines would be the last, the ending you will know is good day say yani good, or good, you could say good day say yani shik, where are you running to? Right? And the answer would be Walmart day yan hashik coffee or kahui. Kahui, yes. So it's like you can put in Walmart, you can put in Starbucks, you can put in Costco, whatever. Just have fun with it. Whatever you want to put in there. But for just an introduction to the phrase I put in. Good day,
Okay.
say on Ishik.
Good day, saya nishik. Where are you running to?
Where you taking off to?
Okay.
Costco, like Fred Meyer's, the Jan Good, Jan Hashik.
Yan chashik.
Yeah. You could say Sakunin or Kahwe. Yes. So just keep that in mind, but we'll practice the next two lines for today.
Okay.
Those two lines that we had before about the time and you say, oh, what time is it? Didn't notice. Say, sit go sound, yeah.
Sit kausanaya. Okay. So good day, saya nishik. Fred Meyer's day yan chashik. Kahwe, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay. Do any of our students have questions about our two new lines yet? If not, we'll go ahead and Ezra. Oh, you're muted.
For clarity for me, which part refers to coffee?
Kahwe.
Coffee. Coffee.
Oh,
People, we didn't have any F's. So that was the closest they came to being able to say coffee. It does sound a little bit like coffee, coffee.
Coffee. Okay. That's really interesting because I really like exercises like this, especially for young speakers. And when I was teaching Southern Shoshone, the Ta'an dialect, I had a group of about 10 quite young people, not children, but younger adults, I guess. And one of the things that they asked me to do was to create some dialogue for them that is more what they're living today. because it was challenging for some of them to describe a lifestyle that they never lived. So one of the things we came up with was to translate Starbucks and Tim Hortons. And we didn't have a word, we too don't have a word for coffee, but my dad used to call it Guchendi, which is white man's tea.
Mm.
So we translated Starbucks coffee into Guchendi, Guchendi Thil Donatio, Starbucks coffee. And they really had a lot of fun with it. And I'm starting to feel what they were talking about now, that that surely our instructor is using this method with us, because it makes it fun.
Mhm.
Thank you.
I love that. So your guys's Fred Meyer is called Tim Hortons.
No, ours is pretty much Walmart's. I guess that's as close as we can get to Fred Meyer's in the Yukon,
Yeah.
or Superstore or something like that. Yeah.
Uh,
We always, when we go to visit our relatives in Haines, one of the things, or not Haines, but in Juneau, we always tease each other when we come home, because somebody will say, "Did you visit Uncle Freddie?"
yeah.
And we all go to Fred Meyer's.
That's great. Yeah, and that's why I like to have that, where people can, put in today's what we know, like you could say McDonald's, they aren't for good, but not Hashik, but or whatever place you want to put the name in, so that there's something they can relate to. And that happens in English when the old people used to speak. And that's where some of the words came from, that where they couldn't say, like schoon instead of school, kahwe. And we have a lot of words like that became part of our language. And that is really good to have, because when the language starts changing, that means it's alive. So I always welcome that.
Mm.
Mm.
Okay. Oh, cool. We have a neat comment in the chat as well that says, in the Ojibwe language, coffee is called, you have to help me here, makade mashkiki wabu, black medicine water.
Great.
Yeah.
It's wonderful.
That is so, it's Shirley again, sorry. That is so amazing, because my brother told me that, my elder brother, he said, I really like how you've created that name for coffee. He said, but the old timers, they used to call it cold medicine. For when you got a cold, they would boil those coffee beans until it was practically tar, and they would drink that for when they got colds.
Cook it all day.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that was I was gonna say that
Okay.
was a pretty good pronunciation. It's Makade Meshkiki Wabu.
Yeah.
So just pretty good.
Okay, gonna teach. Awesome. Good discussion, and we'll keep this going. I did want to note for folks, so whatever you choose to put in your dialogue for your place is we might say Fred Meyer's or whichever place you're going, but what you do is add de at the end. So D, high tone E, and that shows you that you're going toward or to that place. Okay, any more comments or questions about our last two lines?
And
Okay.
then the very, very last line, you already know. Tuye kwasatin.
Oh,
So that finishes the whole dialogue.
oh, cool.
I'm sorry to pull you so fast through that, but I wanted to get that in.
Okay, that's perfect. So this one, folks know it already. Let's practice it. Repeat after me. Suye it kwasatin.
Suye itwasatin.
Okay. So looking ahead for our next classes, let me zoom out here so folks can see. On Thursday, we'll make sure to do breakout rooms and we'll give you extra time so that you can catch up on the knock knock dialogue, you can practice counting. I'll give you the links to the slides so that you can practice with those. And then probably on Thursday, I'll also share with you some resources on counting where you can find more information. And Edna, you have your hand up?
Yes, I just realized that when you type in the things on the screen, that it seems like the high tones and the underlines and things go in there automatically. This is totally off the subject, but but is there something that you've done with your computer where you can do that?
Yeah. So I'm on a Mac and let me take you to the page where you can find information for your keyboard. But in short, what I did was install a keyboard that types in Lingit. So since I'm on an Apple computer, I hold down the Option key. And if I hold down Option and push K, it'll give me an underline K. If I hold down Option and push E, it'll give me a high tone E. And so that makes it pretty quick for me to be able to type underlines and high tones. But to find these resources, let me take you there. You can go to clinkitlanguage.com, which I'll link in the chat. And if you go to clinkitlanguage.com under resources, you scroll down until you find apps and keyboards. And when you do, you'll see options for Mac as well as for Windows. So if you're on a Mac like me, you'll click this top link, Crippen Clinkit keyboard, and I can walk you through this process. If you're on a Mac and you would like help, it took me a while to figure out how to get it to work on my computer. And then if you're on a Windows, like a PC or a Dell, then you would click one of these. I think Northwest Coast Keyboards is the one that I've seen used the most. But does that help answer your question for now, Edna?
Yes, yes, definitely.
Okay. Yeah, if folks want information on how to install these, I can at least help you with the Mac side and maybe find people to help with the Windows side as well. Okay, well, just let me go ahead and give folks the links to these slides so that you can practice at home before Thursday if you like. And I'll put them in the chat. So here's the link to today's slides. If you want, you can look ahead. I have some resources here on counting where you can find recordings as well as written description of the numbers, where you can find it in the phrase book. I included the page number. And then we'll also make time soon for counting people. So I have information here. We'll do this as a group, but if you want to be able to look ahead and practice, you can. And let me also include the link. I know folks brought up how they liked our practice counting things 1 through 10. And I have the link for that as well. Let me include it. And in the meantime, are there any closing thoughts, comments, or questions?
How much time do we have left?
We're at 3 minutes till, and Kach, do you have your hand up?
Yes. Will this also be posted in Tofuti?
Yeah, I'll go
Okay.
on. Yeah, I'll go into Woody after class and post our
Okay.
slides. Yeah.
Buenos dias.
Now, I wanted to just quickly mention, I was really pleased that everybody wanted to go ahead and start using. Then I kind of remembered my mom. So her speaking, and for a person that has only one grandchild, you say Tainach. I only have one grandchild. Tainach Yati. Yeah. And we have 2 grandchildren, Dachnach.
So
Yeah, somebody put a stop to me if you're here, if you know different. But for 3, if you have 3 grandchildren like I do, you say Natskinach, Natskinach. And in my mind, I always have to kind of hear my mom saying those words. Dakun, you don't say any different, but Cajun, what was it? Cajun, enough. There's a different word for it. Cajun.
Jinninach.
Cajun, yeah, that's it.
Okay.
Yeah. But then the rest of the numbers, you just add the nach. It's only for the first 5, and the 4 doesn't have a change.
Yeah, okay. Exciting sneak peek into our Thursday class where we'll talk more about, continue this conversation about counting people, and we'll walk you through those resources and give you some time to practice. So
on Friday, we'll talk about Kanket food.
Oh yeah, Friday, folks, if you can make it on Friday at noon, we'll have a really good cultural discussion about Lingit foods. Okay, well, goodness, Chish, Hatya Adi. Have a good rest of your day. Thank you for coming here. We'll see you back here, same time, same place on Thursday.